So y'all wanted to hear the story of my first battery. So before, I thought like me hooking up with two guys at the same time, I thought that was called a threesome because who wouldn't think that? But according to everyone else, it's called a battery. So the first time was I went to go see this guy in Saga and I slept at his house, and we drank and we drank like a full 26 or like a pack of like coolers or whatever. Yeah, big thing. Anyway, so yeah, we drank like a pack of coolers, like a 26er. Then like I woke up and like I was still turned, like I turned up more, like I started drinking the rest of the 26er. And then he was getting boring, so I'm like, whatever, like I'm gonna cut. And this guy had been messaging me from Brampton, so he Ubered me to Brampton, and I went to the guy's house and he had more alcohol for me because I had asked him to give me more alcohol because like I didn't want to stop turning up. I was having real, so it was like a lot of fun. So I get there and then I black the fuck out. I don't know what the fuck happened. But, like the next day, I woke up to like pictures of me in his bed with like my pants off and shit, but that's a different story that I'm not going to tell actually. And then from there, this guy I was talking to, like he was so cute. Like we've been talking for a while, blah blah blah. He's like, okay, like I'll Uber you to Scarborough. So like he Ubers me to Scarborough. Like I get to the house, I knock on the door, and the guy that answers isn't the guy I've been talking to. I'm like, am I at the wrong house? He's like, no. He's like, don't worry. Or like I'm his cousin or something, or like I'm his friend. Like he's gonna come soon, blah blah blah. He's like, just come upstairs. Like I went upstairs and like it was awkward. It was just like me sitting like on a chair, and then like he was sitting over on the bed. And then he like looked at me. He was like, oh, he said we should start without him. I'm like, wait, what? Or, like he said something along the lines of like, yeah, like we should start without him. Or like he said that you should hook up with me first and until he gets here. And then I'm like, okay. Like I didn't mind because like the guy that was sitting on the bed, like the guy that came to the door was cuter than the guy who was going to come. So then we hook up or whatever. Like the guy comes, he walks in, and he takes off his pants, and then basically like I call it a pig roast because it'd be me like ass up, face down, and then like one leg here hitting me from the back, and then me like sucking one stick while he's like laying down. That's why I call it a pig roast, because like I'm basically being pig roasted, but apparently it's called a battery. But I'm still gonna call it a pig roast. And then yeah, like we finish up or whatever, and then they deny it, or like they finally admitted to it after that. But like when I exposed them or whatever, one of them said that I looked like I was on crack. But like the thing is, I was like blackout drunk the whole fucking day. Like I literally skipped from guy to guy to guy to different city, and like it was just like so much fun. Okay, and then the story of worst trick. Okay, I have three stories that stick out that for the worst trick experiences, and I'm gonna start with the first one. Okay, the first one is, so I'm working in Oshawa and this guy comes into my room, like he's shaking, like I'm like okay, like what's wrong with you, like are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, like blah blah blah. And like I know he's on some sort of drug. So like he comes in or whatever, and like he sits down on my bed, and that like he takes his pants off, and then he sits down again, and then like he goes to move, and like there's like a shit stain on my bed, and that was not there before. So I'm just looking at it, and like I'm like disgusted, like I'm like like what the fuck. Like I look at him, I'm like, what's that? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, bro, you just put a fucking shit stain on my fucking bed. And then like I'm like you need to leave, like. And then he left, and I'm like, I was just so grossed out. Like I had to fucking like take off my sheet, like take off like everything, just like throw it on the ground. And then like second time would be, ooh, this white guy. Okay, I was working in Hamilton, and this white guy who's on coke came to my room. Like we did like a bunch of coke or whatever, and he made me turn on BBC porn, and he fucked me well. He made me tell him how much I love black dick, and I was like, it was just really awkward. And like he paid me for 2 hours, and like since he was on coke, like obviously he didn't last the two, like he didn't, I mean he would have lasted 2 hours if I didn't kick him out, because like when you're on coke you don't come easily or whatever, or you don't come, or you don't get hard, like type like that. So like yeah, like we're watching like BBC porn. He's like, have you ever had a train run on you, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah. He's like telling me stories about it, and he was like moaning while I was telling him the story, and I'm like can you please leave? And then the third one would be, I was working in Cambridge. I don't know why I'm listing where I was working when this was happening, but anyways, I was in Cambridge, and this Asian guy comes to see me, and like he walks in, like he gives me the money, and then like he goes to give me a hug. But then, like, okay, well, I thought he was going to give me a hug. He comes up to me, he puts his arms around me, and then all of a sudden he jumps on me and wraps his legs around me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, like, I started walking around, like, trying to push him off. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And, like he wouldn't get off me. He was just hanging on me. So then I did, like, this, like, okay, who's, like, I've used my weight as an advantage this time. And, like, I, like, basically like just like flop down on the bed with him, like on top of him, so it's like he would get like squished. And then he finally let go, and then like he sat on my lap, and then he made me carry him around, like you know, like on your, like you would carry a baby. Like he made me carry him like this, like in my arms, and just like walk around with him. And I was like, what the fuck? And like he didn't speak English, okay? Like he spoke like barely any English. So when I told him to fuck off, he wouldn't fuck off. And he kept like trying to get me to carry him and like doing weird shit. And like I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and then I was like so weirded out that I had to go downstairs and go to the bar and just like start drinking. Like it was really fucking weird. And then okay, this is what I considered my first battery. So I was talking to this guy, I think he was from Brampton, and I was working in, I think, Whitby. So he's like, oh, wanna chill, blah blah blah, and like I was curving him for time until he sent a picture of himself, and I was like, whoa, like I'm like, you're actually hot. He's like, yeah. He's like, I've been texting you, trying to chill. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I'm working right now. Okay, I'm out of pocket as fuck. Like, when I'm working, like, when I'm in a certain area and, like, I have guys there that I talk to, I let them come through and I hook up with them for free because I'm an out of pocket hoe. Anyway, so, like, they come. So he comes and he brings two friends. One's a light skin, and then one, I've exposed these guys. So you guys can probably imagine who they are. So they come through, and then like we're all sitting there, like we're drinking, blah blah blah, and like I'm cute, like I'm really awkward around guys sometimes, like you know, like that Indian guy on The Big Bang Theory, when like the only time he can like associate with girls or like interact with them is when he's under the influence. That's basically me. So I was sitting there like awkward, like da da da, like they're all sitting there, like they're staring at me, like I kind of like know what they want. And then, like, they all get up. They're like, okay, well, this is getting boring, so we're going to leave. I'm like, wait, stop. And then, like, come over. And, like, they all came over, and, like, I started, like, undoing all their pants. And, like, it would be, like two guys standing. Or, like, all three of them were standing. I'd be, like, you know, type of shit. And then, like, they would all, like, take turns fucking me. Like, one would fuck me from behind, while the other two were on the bed. And I'd be, like rotating like that, you know, type of shit. Like, honestly... And then someone asked me what my first battery felt like. That I thought was my first battery, and honestly, after that, I felt like, I don't even know, like, I felt so nice, like a lot of girls would feel dirty or some shit, but, like, I was, like, just sitting there, I'm like, yo, like, I'm that bitch, like, these guys were hot as fuck, like, I just fucking, like, killed that shit, like, whoa, like, it was actually lit. And then, and you know that was gay. There's like this meme or whatever that says like after a train there's always that one guy who sticks around and tries to wife the girl. Two of them continued to talk to me for up to like a half a year later. One of them continued to talk to me even after I exposed him. Oh, and then one of them was calling my phone, and like like it was like I had him saved, so like it was like coming up as like a call, but like he was calling my ad. Like his number was showing up because like I have him saved, but he was calling my other number, like my ad number. And like I answer the phone, I'm like, hello, and he goes, hey. He's like, how much is it for the half hour? I'm like, what the fuck? This man was a full ass trick. I could have gotten money out of that. Like, but yeah, he deleted his Instagram and everything anyways. No contact with him anymore. The other one stopped talking to me after that too. And now I'm on to new dick. New season, new dick. And yes, I'm single now, by the way. Because, you know what? Dude, you have no business. People have no business getting into relationships in the summer and shit. This is hoe season. Cuffing season was over. If you didn't get cuffed in cuffing season, then don't try to get cuffed in like non-cuffing season, because it's hoe season now. This is the season where you're supposed to be outside at the park, in the bushes, in the forest, doing your thing, you know, like sucking dick.